Hello, my dear friends. Here we are for another Bible study. How good it is to spend this time in God's presence. In today's Bible study, we will dive into the beauty of mutual care. We will see how deep love protects our bonds and brings healing where there was pain. I invite you to open your heart to this transforming message, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so we can grow in faith together. Let us begin the study. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 8. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. To dive into the understanding of this message, we must first travel back in time and understand the setting where these words were written. Peter was addressing Christian communities living scattered throughout various provinces of Asia Minor, people who felt like strangers and exiles in their own land. They faced constant social pressure and the beginning of persecutions that tested every ounce of their integrity. In those days, being a Christian often meant losing family support, social status, and even economic security. The atmosphere was one of extreme tension, and any spark of internal misunderstanding could mean the end of those small communities that were still blossoming. The apostle knew that in the face of such great external threats, the greatest danger did not come from the outside, but from the possibility of the believers' hearts hardening against one another. In the original context, the word used to describe the love we should have is an expression that refers to the effort of an athlete stretching their muscles to the maximum limit. It was not a passive feeling or a fleeting emotion, but a deliberate and active decision to stretch the soul to reach others. Peter understood that, in a community under pressure, human flaws become more visible, and the mistakes of others tend to hurt us more easily, hence the urgency of mutual dedication. The idea that love covers a multitude of sins does not suggest that we should ignore justice or hide serious wrongs, but rather that true affection has the capacity to neutralize the poison of resentment. In the history of those early churches, if they spent all their time pointing out each other's mistakes and fueling gossip or judgment, they would not have had the necessary fortitude to withstand the difficulties of the time. The covering here functions as a protective mantle that prevents an offense from turning into an impassable abyss. They needed this unity to survive, transforming every home into a refuge where forgiveness was the very air they breathed. This need to stretch the heart, to forgive and welcome crosses the centuries and reaches our reality very directly. Today, we do not necessarily live through the same physical persecutions of the first century, but we face a world that encourages us to discard people and point fingers at every flaw we find on social media or within our own homes. Peter's invitation is for us to be different from this common flow. When we choose the path of understanding, we are deciding that our bond with our neighbor is much more relevant than the momentary pleasure of being right or retaliating against a poorly spoken word. In your daily practice, applying this teaching means looking at the people you live with, your spouse, your children, your colleagues, and understanding that everyone is in a process of construction. When someone fails you, instead of exposing that wound or letting it rot inside your chest, you can choose to spread that mantle of love. This brings an admirable lightness to life, as it frees us from the burden of carrying lists of grievances. By acting this way, we are reflecting the divine essence that welcomes us daily, despite all our imperfections and stumbles. It is a commitment to the well-being of the collective over the ego of the individual. Living this love that stretches is an exercise in freedom. It is understanding that inner peace does not depend on living in a perfect world where no one makes mistakes, but on possessing a heart large enough not to allow another's error to determine your happiness. May we, from now on, be promoters of this silent and constant reconciliation, transforming our environments into places of restoration. Now I invite you to join your thoughts with mine so that we can speak to the Creator about this capacity to love in such a deep and transforming way. Let us now dedicate a moment to our prayer. Beloved God, in this moment of stillness and reflection, we lift our hearts to you in deep gratitude. We recognize that your love is the soil where we flourish and the light that guides us amidst life's uncertainties. Today, inspired by the words of the Apostle Peter, we ask you to teach us to love with an intensity that goes beyond the obvious. Father, help us develop a generous heart, capable of stretching out to reach the one who has stumbled beside us. Often the world teaches us to hold on to grudges and to build walls of judgment, but we ask for your grace so that we may instead spread mantles of forgiveness and understanding. May our affection for one another be so deep that no offense or poorly spoken word has the strength to destroy the bonds that unite us. Teach us to look at the flaws of our fellow beings with eyes of mercy, remembering that we also walk under your constant care. May we be instruments of restoration in our homes, in our workplaces, and in every encounter we have today. May our presence bring peace, and may our silence be filled with your wisdom when the temptation to criticize knocks at our door. May love not be just a feeling within us, but a living action that heals wounds and rebuilds bridges. We ask that your peace, which surpasses all human understanding, guard our minds and give us the necessary steadiness to be reflections of your goodness in the world. May our lives be a testimony that love truly has the gift of transforming everything around it. Amen. We conclude this Bible study with this message of profound renewal and hope for your journey. As your mentor on this journey of faith, I want you to leave this moment not just with new knowledge, but with a practical tool to transform your reality. Understand that Peter's recommendation for love to be intense is an invitation for you to exercise the elasticity of your spirit. Tomorrow, when you face a situation of conflict or a fault from someone close to you, remember that you have the ability to choose the size of your heart. The love that covers a multitude of sins is not a love that ignores reality, but a love that decides not to fuel the fire of resentment. Imagine how much lighter your life will become when you decide that someone else's mistake does not have the right to steal your peace. This is the true greatness that the gospel offers us, the freedom not to be a hostage to the actions of others. You possess a unique light, and by practicing this welcoming spirit, you become a point of reference for everyone around you. Be the person who interrupts the cycle of criticism and starts the cycle of restoration. This daily exercise of stretching your understanding will make you realize that happiness is not found in the absence of problems, but in the presence of a loving disposition to deal with them effectively. Receive this teaching as a seal of confidence over your life. You are capable of building an environment where people feel safe to grow, because they know they will find in you a safe harbor of acceptance. From today on, may your gaze be focused more on the virtues and potential of every human being than on their momentary limitations. Move forward with the certainty that every gesture of affection and every word of encouragement you plant today will bloom into a much more fulfilling and harmonious life. You were born to shine and to be a channel of blessings through that affection that knows no bounds and transforms everything with gentleness and resolve. We have reached the end of another special gathering, and my heart rejoices in your company. If you have walked with us until this moment, I want to invite you to strengthen our bond. Leave an Amen in the comments or suggest a verse that touches your soul for our upcoming studies. Your participation helps make our community even more united and close-knit. Thank you so much for being here. Your presence is a gift. We look forward to seeing you with much love in our next Bible study as we continue to grow together in faith. And remember, God is always with you.